Hey. It's the Porch Podcast. It's the Porch. I had to bring this one back, please.
But that's right there. This hard,
this the interlude beat. All this is always a snippet beat. Hey, it's the Porch Podcast. Come on. It's the Porch Podcast. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the Porch Podcast. It's your boy DJ E, Mr. Influential, and I'm rocking with my brother
P Original.
Hey, y'all know that's who he is. That's what it is. P, lucky number 13.
Yes, sir.
Episode lucky number 13. And before you say anything, I just got one question to ask you. Do you believe in luck?
Yeah. But listen, I got a question. I'm not gonna step over yours.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. And I'm not trying to shortchange it, but I'm gonna say yes because I want to ask you a question.
You ready to ask me a question right away?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. All right.
Do you think it's better to be good or lucky?
Good.
Okay. Ain't no right or wrong. First off,
Good.
Absolutely no right or wrong
Good.
answer.
I'm gonna say good all
right,
day.
so good.
Good.
All right, so I asked you that because I sit back and I think about it from
As I sit back, relax, my bad.
As I sit back and think about the question that I'm asking. You know, I know you, and so it's kind of crazy because when I ask you questions,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say, "Oh, I know everything he gonna ever say," and like, nah. Mm-hmm. But the question is, would you rather be good or lucky? Right? And you said I'd rather be good.
Good.
Could you elaborate on why you said good versus lucky?
I feel like luck runs out.
Damn.
But when you good, you just got it, baby.
Yeah.
We're going to have a good night. Good night.
Yeah.
Let me give it one more time. I said, I feel like luck runs out. But when you good, you just good, baby. Because we're going to have a good night. Good night. Hey.
Okay. All right. So you'd rather be good than lucky. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me ask you another question if you don't mind, brother.
Hey, man. Interview me, man.
I'm going to throw a couple questions out there so the people can see what goes on inside of the DJ's mind. Magical Merlin is back.
Fuck is Merlin, man?
What do you wish grew on trees?
Money.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So that's all the time, right?
Right.
Money don't grow on trees, but what do you like? All right, go a little deeper. Go inside a little deeper into the mind of DJ E.
What I wish grows on trees actually grows on trees, but not the trees that we see. Opportunity.
Okay.
I like opportunity because opportunity. See, the problem is everybody want the bag, but everybody don't want to work for the bag.
Now that's definitely true.
And then sometimes the ones who want to work for the bag
right
don't know how to work for the bag because nobody ever showed them how to work for the bag.
Right. No, I agree.
But you can only work for the bag if you have the opportunity.
Yeah.
I don't care what you show. I'm gonna use it like this. Every hood movie, you got your typical drug dealers and all that type of stuff.
Right.
Just use that.
Right.
When it's all of a sudden, it's a crew that just come out of nowhere and they taking over.
Yep.
Every time.
Every time.
They taking over, right?
Damn storyline don't get that.
It don't get that. You know what I mean? Shout out to State Property. You gonna either get down or lay down.
Right.
They took it over.
Right.
But they didn't take it over until they had the opportunity to take it over.
Right. Okay.
Now I'm gonna go with the show The Wire, one of my favorite shows that ever was written all that type. I still watch it to this day.
Oh man.
Still watch it. Run through and watch it again.
And very much entertaining, but realistic too.
Right.
Right.
But when Marlo took over, he seen his opportunity.
Right.
When Avon went to jail.
Right.
String always wanted to get out of it anyway.
Right.
String was actually Ghost back then.
Right. Okay. All right.
You understand what I'm saying?
The comparison's always been there.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but we're not gonna stay on that. If opportunity grows on trees, then people wouldn't feel limited.
Right.
You got people that don't like their job, are scared to leave the job because they hang around a bunch of people that
Yeah.
tell them,
Yeah.
well, jobs don't grow on trees.
Yeah.
You can't find opportunities like this no more.
Yeah.
But you also have our father that told us back in the day, you could quit a job in the morning and have another one by lunchtime.
Yeah, and he ain't lying. He wasn't lying either.
Hey, he used to be like, hey, listen, hey, you leave one, you go down the street, you get another one.
Yeah.
Back when I worked at Thigh Call,
Yeah.
man then Mr. Jones had the shoe store and all that. It was like,
Yeah.
it was all types of shit.
Yeah.
So I wish opportunity was still like that.
It's a great point.
Still like that.
Yeah, I on trees. It's funny, like you say. Just I wish time grew on trees.
Yeah.
You know, the whole money don't grow on trees situation is funny, like you said. When you really think about it, I think the only reason that it came that way is because the green of the leaves represented it. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, green on leaves ain't dollar bills, but whatever, it don't grow on trees. But I do wish time did.
I understand.
Yeah, I just wish that time did. Most of your things that's strong take time to build.
Nothing grows without time and you feeding it.
Yeah. Need motion to have life. You know what I mean? So that's it. All right, I got you. That's a good one. I'm gonna move on to my next one.
Opportunity.
So opportunity.
Yeah.
Opportunity. Okay. All right. Here's a different one because we talk about social media and all that stuff all the time.
Right.
We just talked about chasing the bag and all that.
Right.
Question: what weird thing would you make socially acceptable if you had the power to change? If you could just wave your magical Merlin the Magician wand, which thing, I want to make sure I'm asking you right now, what weird thing would you make socially acceptable if you could?
That's the reason why that question is not as easy is because
Who determines what's weird?
right. The standard of like, okay, I'm gonna answer this like I was 20.
Okay. You were. It was a long time ago.
Right. Like I was 20. No, I'm not even gonna say 20. I put me about 26, 27. Right. And it's gonna get a little different from what y'all see with me. I had just separated from my ex-wife and I was exploring life. I was single, so I was moving around, and I was a young man with no kids and everything. And I loved sex.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
That's what it was.
Right.
Now, heterosexual. Okay, I'm just putting that out there.
Cool.
All right?
Cool. I'm with you. Go ahead.
I just liked to be able to do it in different places, not just necessarily the bedroom.
Oh, okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
When I was that way, when I was
I'm a
young
little
like
scared,
that,
but go ahead.
right? So, but let's just be honest.
Right.
We know that there are beaches and resorts and places like that where it's just open like that.
Absolutely.
Wasn't a swinger or nothing of that nature.
Right.
Okay. But if I walked down the street and I looked, if I would have seen somebody, I'd just be like, oh, they getting it in.
Yeah.
And kept it moving.
Yeah.
But somebody else might be like, come on, it's weird. Get a roll.
Yeah.
So I just think I would probably want that to be a little bit more open for some reason at that time.
Yeah.
In that time of my life. Now it's like, I don't want to see that shit. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
But it's hard because I kind of cut myself away from a lot of weird things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because as you get older, your tolerance is a little different. About a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But that I can honestly, I don't know. Like I know this answer sound weird to some people, but back then, that's just who I was. You know what I mean? Now, I ain't saying I was out there doing all that. I'm just telling you what I like.
So, like you said, first off, it's kind of a loaded question in a sense because of the fact that everybody ain't gonna find the same things to be weird. You know, just like, and since we, you know, this is a grown people's show, when we talk grown,
Right.
you know, everybody is not comfortable with being open-minded to the fact that, you know, in certain categories in life, you know, you can expand on, you know.
Yeah.
You got some people, especially, you know, if you a single man and woman and you out there just living your life, enjoying it, not just aimlessly.
Living la vida loca.
Right. You
Yeah.
just, you know, not hopping in and out of
Yeah,
bed with
yeah,
different
yeah.
people.
We know what you're saying.
But
We know
if
what
you
you're
in a situation with a person, and I guess it's kind of crazy, if they kind of introduce you to some more excitement, are they viewed initially as being a little weird? Like, and when I say that, like for
I know
instance,
exactly
like
what
you're
you
saying,
mean.
like for instance,
It's-
in your case, like let me throw this at you. If a woman presented to you like this, right now, she don't know.
Right.
This is still a question, so I'm asking.
Right.
You're out in the dating scene, you kicking it, interactive. You know what I mean? Boom. You mixing it up on the dance floor. Y'all have a good time. You get ready to go home, and she become, quote unquote, just real heavy on the flirt.
Yeah.
And like, yo, you know, she wants you.
Right.
And you like, you know, a little apprehensive because you just met her, but you turn around and you be like, all right, let me see where this goes. And she like, no, I gotta have you now. Does that, how can I say, does that make her loose to you?
Nah.
Weird to you? All right, so the answer to that situation in both of them, you saying no, it wouldn't make you like that.
It would only because I'm like far from judgmental. All right, here's the thing. A lot of times what we used to think was weird was different. It was just something we wasn't used to.
Right.
Now it is some just weird things. Like, for example, like these little kids love slime. That's just weird to me. Like, but that's their thing. It's still different to us. You know what I mean? The slime, the toy slime.
Okay.
Yeah, this little slimy toy things
yeah,
that we
yeah,
have.
yeah. I got you.
Yeah, but no. To me back then, that actually just showed me that I was a woman just knew what she wanted. A lot of times women are labeled, and it's like it's a stereotype. They labeled to be loose. I never felt like that. I was never judgmental of a woman who knew what she wanted at that time.
Right.
Now, do I believe there are loose women and men in the world? Yeah, different definitions, and my definition in different ways on why they would become loose. You know, I used to feel like I never used to try to call a woman a hoe or anything of that nature. But I used to feel like sometimes they were loose if they wanted the whole team. Because it's like, sweetie, somebody's going to talk about you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even when the dude would do that, like, bro, they gonna sit there and talk. I'm not judging them.
Nah.
You know what I mean? Because that used to be how my definition of it. But if somebody meets somebody and they on a vacation, they on a trip, and they just feel like, and they do everything right to protect themselves and all that type of stuff, and it just happens to happen, I'm not judging that person. Like, you know, I didn't think that they were loose.
Yeah.
You know?
I asked that question because more often than not, man, I've seen things where people do it and it's viewed as being weird initially, and then when it catches on, it's dope. Like, I've seen things that was weird one week, and then all of a sudden, just like, damn, that's the move. Mm-hmm. Like, you ever see some of the guys in the NBA, like somehow how they dress before they get ready to come in?
Yeah.
And how a person of that stature, they can do that, and they say that's style. But if a person that you just know from, you know, on a regular cat, so to speak, a regular Joe Blow, he do it, and he's a weird dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, damn, I ain't gonna say no one particular athlete's name or nothing like that.
I don't care who got on them little tight pants. It's weird to me.
Right. Now, you say that,
but
like I said, it gets often looked upon, right, as
style.
Because of who is on. So the reason why I say it's loaded, because weird is only weird to regular people.
Right.
Like, if everything you did was weird,
right,
people would accept it anyway, right?
Right.
So that's why I said that particular question. I know it seems a little loaded, but you answered it in terms of what you were saying. With the
just to talk about that, the reason why celebrities they'll call it style is because of often, especially in America,
where
we live at, people follow this. They want to be celebrities,
right.
so they follow what celebrities do.
Can we pause this shit, man?
What happened, man?
I got a pitch bad as hell, man.
I ain't pausing, man. We still recording.
All right, I'll be right back.
Listen. I'm gonna pause it.
Hey.
You all right?
Yeah, you know, shit. Me and this bladder, we all right. Had to get him together. Next interview question for you, sir.
Yes, I'm ready. Yes, I'm ready.
If you was giving some advice to a young brother in the DJ world,
Yes, sir.
up and coming,
Mm-hmm.
what's 3 silly things that you would tell him to avoid? He or she?
Because the game is different. I feel like they often get caught up in trying to be something on social media that they not. That they think is super cool.
Okay.
So I would explain to them, be yourself, because you're always in character.
Like that.
When you're yourself, you're always in character.
Like that.
So don't try to keep up with the Joneses.
Okay.
I mean, DJs are your ultimate promoters, actually.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of us create style, a lot of us, how we dress. But we think, a lot of people focus on the DJ and not realizing it's just part of the hip-hop culture. Or the culture, whatever culture you're in. Right? Mm-hmm. So, I would tell them, be themselves, because when you're in character, you're always in character, yourself. A lot of them walk around wearing Balenciagas, different clothes, want to take a bunch of pictures. Mm-hmm. And I understand that they're concerned about their outfit. Mm-hmm. I got a pair of Balenciagas. Mm-hmm. But some of them can buy some speakers. Yeah. Same amount. They can buy some speakers instead of buying Balenciagas. Not knocking them, not doing nothing. So that means always be prepared and be ready. So if somebody wanted to hire you for a party, literally, it's 2 hours from now, and the shit literally around the corner, you ain't got to make phone calls. Yo, can I use your speakers? Can I use your sound? No, you just go load up the truck and go.
Word.
Put everything in play. You know what I mean? So avoid having to borrow sound. Borrow any type of equipment that you need to get your money. Avoid that. You know what I mean? Avoid being something you're not. You said 3, right?
3.
Okay. By all calls.
Mm-hmm.
Don't miss a gig. If you get somebody your word, first of all, set your price in the beginning. Don't tell somebody, oh, I got you, and you ain't talk about a price. Right? I got you. How much? And then you see him another day. Oh, man, just give me, and don't ever charge this, but just give me $150. Like if you bring in the sound, equipment, and all that. And then when it came, now you lying to him talking about, nah, another gig came through. Because now you're known as the guy that doesn't, the truth of the matter is you don't want to go get that money because you feel like it's not enough.
Right.
So just be you at all the time. Invest in yourself. Be a man of your word.
Okay.
Be that. Avoid not being that.
Got you. Be who you are from the beginning.
Yeah.
And stick to.
Be who you are, period, all the time. You're always in character.
That way you don't have to, like you said, make silly mistakes.
Right.
That's a good way to avoid them. Yeah, I asked that question because, even in my own past, working and stuff like that.
I remember you was a DJ. You was a DJ.
Right on time with this shit.
That man, you was a DJ, man.
Right. Okay, well,
Go ahead. Go. Say what you said,
what
man.
I was going to say was, you know, experience, like we talk about all the time, is the best teacher. A lot of different things.
Right.
You know, when I was working, I had actually gotten to a point where I started to, assist with some training of new officers and stuff like that. And
You heard him say officer. He was a snitch.
so, well, no, if I was an officer, that's kind of what you're supposed to do. So it wouldn't be snitching. It's kind of what you do. But needless to say,
don't snitch.
while I was doing
war.
that, and I started to get into the training side of things, what it did was I had to learn, okay, how do I communicate universally?
I'm glad I caught myself because I was really about to say, how do I?
Yeah. Because you turn everything into a damn song.
DJ E.
Yeah.
Mr. Influential.
This guy's always DJing. No. What I was going to say was I had to figure out a way that I could communicate with people that were just starting, because that was a totally different dynamic, and then also doing refreshers and stuff like that, talking to people that had been there before me,
Right.
came the same time.
Right.
And, so universally trying to understand how the mind works to help people along the way kind of get in front of, some of the potholes that can present themselves as it went on.
You can honestly tell we brothers. That's how I'm at work too. I'm dead serious.
Yeah, I believe it. It's like you said, while we sitting on the porch, that's what we do. We just talking about the stuff that, we deal with on the regular. Mm-hmm. But, some of the things that I would say that I'm not going to say necessarily because I tripped up on everything, but because of the fact that it's how you survive moments, more or less, versus you kind of just dwelling on what went negative. Mm-hmm. I sit back and I think about some of the things that I would share with people about, like, old stories. And anybody who knows, where I used to work and all of that type of stuff, like, we had some good times. We had some very good times. Mm-hmm. And, we would share just days when things went on with different ways or whatever. I used to tell anybody who was just coming in the door, I can tell you stories all day long.
Right.
And they'll be entertaining. But I don't know how beneficial they would be to you in terms of your own career, because those were my experiences.
Right.
So I would say that to them, hoping that if they found any mistakes in the things that I did,
right,
that they would kind of find those nuggets by me sharing that funny moment with them.
Well, they probably did, because, like we talked about in the last episode, you never lose.
Right.
So even when you made mistakes, that person learned later.
I mean, think about it like this. How significant was the mistake if the powers that be put me in a position to help train or reinforce or reestablish some common practices, right? Mm-hmm. So that's why I looked at it from the perspective of it was silly, maybe some silly things or some things I didn't necessarily think through. Because when you're younger, or not even just younger, when you're inexperienced,
right,
you're always trying to either do one or two things, either emulate or find your own way, right? And in most cases, you're either trying to, meet the standard, right? When you come into a place, I don't care where you are, you find a person who is doing things their own way and you say, I want that juice.
Right.
Now, you don't know anything about what this person's history is,
how they destroyed
it. I mean, not how they destroyed it, how they built it, how they, designed that situation. Mm-hmm. You don't know anything about any of that.
Right.
You just identify, they got juice, I want that juice.
Right.
So, you don't want to know the roads. And then even when they do take the time, because I could definitely say the officers that I work with that was like, the vets and stuff like that, they chose who they invested their time into.
Right.
They didn't put the same energy and time to everybody because of the fact that they used to almost kind of look at you like you ain't gonna be here long.
He ain't built for it. There ain't no reason.
Oh, and you ain't gonna be here long.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Listen, I'm that guy now.
And it took time for you to get there because your own experiences. Now I can say definitely, I was groomed by people who recognized it, that they could invest into me.
Right.
And even when I was making some mistakes, those guys were there
Right.
to be able to say, all right, now that you done messed up, now let's get you fixed up.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lesson in silly things as well, right? And you hope that they're not detrimental to whatever it is that the overall body of what you're trying to accomplish.
Right.
But sometimes we go through things because the purpose is bigger than we know.
Exactly.
And it actually winds up being, a plus for someone else later on. I still believe in my heart of hearts that the reason why I can do the podcast situation is because of all of those years of experience, meeting different people, having different relationships, talking to different people, trying to help troubleshoot and work through different situations that I myself may not be going through, but indirectly, it does impact me as well.
I definitely believe
what
you're saying is true, because what that job did create was a hell of worth ethic. You know what I mean? Everybody know I'm a very spiritual person. I believe in God. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And what God has for you is for you. But it doesn't mean he has it for you at the time that you expect him to have it for.
Right.
Even though he does.
Right.
Because we're looking for a certain thing. And in all actuality, you're always learning. Like, I really had this, when in the last episode, when I made that statement about how we never lose, it hit me when I was at work. It hit me like, oh, they always seem like, man, they want me to take L's and they looking over me and this and that. Then I was like, nah, this is creating the work ethic. This is creating why the Porch Podcast can be something you want to do. Because everybody that I know who loves their job,
right? I'm
not saying I hate my job. I'm making this clear.
Right.
Everybody that I know who loves their job and really enjoys what they're doing, one, it doesn't feel like work, and they really invest completely into it. Now, I invest completely into everything that I do.
Absolutely.
That's just who I am. But what I mean is, that's all they do.
Right.
See, just like the guy we talked about that was working all the overtime, he had to have a reason why he wanted to be there. He had to be okay with being there for him to be there that long.
Right.
Even when you spoke with yourself.
Right.
You didn't have a problem.
Right.
With being there.
No.
And I'm not saying you ever did.
No, I didn't, because I voluntarily did it.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Right. I did not.
You didn't have a problem with it.
No.
So with that being put out there and being said, what I'm actually looking at is everybody who speaks and sits and loves what they do as a career, whether it be for themselves, whether it be for another person, is completely focused with that. And it's hard to pull them from it sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It often becomes an unlucky situation, since it's lucky number 13, that pulls them away from it.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer. Obviously, like you said, we talk how we talk. And I tell people all the time, just because, you might hear me say, I may curse, and all this, that, and the third. My faith is strong. And the reason why I think that it's built that way is because, I know how blessed and fortunate I am in a lot of things in my life.
Right.
I also believe that the ability to be able to speak freely and have emotion in my conversation, and
right.
Having different things to support the message and the points that I want to make, I think that that's part of the character that I was created to be. You know what I'm saying? That's what I personally believe. And I think that when you look at it, like we said, just identifying with what is known to be or referred to be as a silly situation, really in all actuality has a benefit somewhere. No matter what appears to be silly or weird over here, or whatever term you want to use, it always has a place and a purpose. It's sometimes contingent upon timing, environment,
right?
What comes following behind it. Because like I said, the next best thing is always weird until it's accepted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The next best thing is always weird until it's accepted. I can remember back in the day, and I miss them both dearly, Mom and Unique.
Mm-hmm.
Unique had a Bluetooth speaker he had in his ear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I think it was from Motorola. It was that first one that came out, had a kind of a little point on
little
it.
boom mic.
Little boom type of, but it didn't, no, it didn't have the microphone. It wasn't in the ear,
Yeah.
but it was kind of, talking back, obviously in the 90s. And he came in the house, and he was talking on it. And Mom saw him walk in the house and said, "What the hell's wrong with him?" And looked away. "What the hell's wrong with him?"
Yeah.
And he laughed. And I said, "Mom, he's on the phone." She like, "No, he's not." I'm looking right at him. He ain't on no damn phone. Right? I remember that, right? She was standing in the kitchen. He was coming in the front door.
Yeah.
Now you sit back and you think about it now, and
She said, "I'm ready to hit this nigga across the head."
yeah, so she was ready. Gina, what the hell's going on? So as time went on and they came up with more,
Yeah.
it became less weird and became more accepted.
Right.
Well, as time went on, that's how a lot of things evolved and developed.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, good friend of mine made a video and he had it on Instagram. And he said, there was a time when we would walk into a store and see a person with a mask and be like, damn, what's going on with him?
Right.
And now it's the time when we walk into the store and we see a person without a mask and so, damn, what's wrong with them?
Yeah.
See how quickly things can change?
Right.
And what was once weird all of a sudden becomes what? Socially accepted?
Right. Of course.
Because it's always, like I said,
We set the standard.
You set the standard. But everything has a place. It's contingent upon timing.
Yeah. Well, everything is necessary. That's the thing. The only thing that's not necessary, that's just, it goes all in time with you never really lose. But
Yeah.
everything is necessary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's sometimes in certain things you gotta be we don't feel like it is necessary. I mean, let me make this clear. I'm not saying that everything is necessary. Everything is not necessary, but things happen to create other things to shine light on other
Absolutely.
certain situations, and you know what I mean. And that has a lot to do with Black Lives Matter. I'm not saying that it was necessary that George Floyd died, but what it did create was a movement, and I think why God often lets us see, and we got to march as black people and see things and create movements that way. He's showing us, because we could come together when somebody comes against our race, but then we'll go against each other all the time. And every race does that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every race does that, but ours get poster board. You said something the other day. We was talking about the NFL. Carson Wentz wanted to be traded. Everybody, this is open in the reports. How? But next thing you started to see, Deshaun Watson, they saying he throwing fits. Russell Westbrook, he's tired of being hit.
Wilson.
Yeah.
I do the same thing.
I do it a lot.
I do the same thing too.
It's the RW.
Yeah.
But Russell Wilson,
Yeah.
he does it a lot. I mean, he does it a lot. No, he was complaining, and they started to paint this narrative that black quarterbacks seem like they're ungrateful. When you said that, and I sat back and I looked and I said, because every report you hear, Carson Wentz, a few years ago, everybody wanted a quarterback like this guy. Everybody wanted a quarterback. Playing through him when he's hurt and this and this and that and this. Yeah, that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about a few years ago. Mm-hmm. We're talking about that he don't want to be on this team no more.
Yeah, I believe, yeah. Yeah, relationships fractured.
Right?
Yeah.
Shortly after that, they were talking about Deshaun Watson. They said, "Oh no, he not being traded." They're trying to figure out a way to make him happy. But what if making him happy is him being traded? But they already made it clear.
Right.
We're not trading him. So regardless, you gonna deal with what we give you.
Right.
Who we think. Unless they got him in there and part of the selection of who they bring. Mm-hmm. We gonna give you whoever we want to give you.
Yeah. I mean, sticking with the concept, like you said, of just understanding weird and making it socially acceptable. Narratives are always going to be created. In that particular case, we're talking about by the media. The perception is that
right. I'm sorry to cut your wisdom, but that's what I mean. I think a lot of things are created through media to make it.
Media's purpose is to navigate you into whatever direction
they want you to be in.
Right. It's being pushed to
their GPS.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But the point in the whole socially accepted thing, and the weirdness element of it is all right. So, all right. Like I said before, weird is only weird until it's dope.
Right.
Right? Because once it's dope, everybody forget how weird the shit was. Like
Right.
I said about the whole thing with Unique coming in the crib with the Bluetooth joint in his ear, Mom looking like, what the hell's wrong with him? And as a matter of time, years went on, all of a sudden now you look around and it's not uncommon to see.
Now listen to you. She went from what the hell's wrong with him to you got your ear thing in. She started saying that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So she started to accept it. Right. The shit wasn't weird no more. That's what I said. It became common. And I think that,
man. No. That
was
cool. A funny day, man.
The whole shit was funny because once she understood, even once she seen it, she still really didn't get it. But then she looked at, I think, the people around her. Like, we didn't look at it like it was weird.
Yeah, sure. She looked at it well.
Was like,
oh, if they all right, I'm all right.
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So like even with this situation, bro, like I can remember one time I had a beeper. Mom, I've been calling you all day. Mom, you ain't been calling me. I was trying to get in touch with you. I called that thing you told me to call. You told me the beeper. Yeah, Mom, you didn't beat me. I didn't get any beeps all day. Yes, I did. You gonna tell me I ain't do what I did? I said, Mom, could you do me a favor? Could you show me what you did?
Mm-hmm.
And she dialed the number. Now, anybody who's too young to know what a beeper was.
Right.
It was a little device that when somebody wanted to get your attention.
My beeper was dope, but go ahead.
They wanted to get you to actually call back. They would call a number associated with that beeper and put in the number that they wanted you to return the call back to.
Yeah.
Mom called. I said, Mom, could you please show me what you did? She picked up the phone. She called the number. She said, girl, call the house, and hung up. I said, Mom, I would have never gotten it. You never put the phone number in. That's how the beeper works, honey. You don't call me, and I hear that. You have to call, put the number in, and then I'll call back. So all day, she think I'm trying to make it, oh, you acting like I'm lying and I ain't No, Mom, you was doing it wrong.
Yeah.
They had Motorola two-way pages. They had Sky pages where you would have to call an operator.
Yeah.
Tell them the message.
Yeah.
And then they would relay the message to the other person that had one.
Right. I had two-way.
Right. So as evolution of that situation went on, every step of that was weird until it became a socially accepted way to deal with it.
Just to touch on that, they put all that in one. You could call the person and you could text them now.
Right.
That's what that was.
That's what they did. So in the evolution of that, as they were building that, the funniest thing about all of that was as you saw it becoming bigger and smarter and faster and all of these different things, right?
Yeah.
It became more acceptable.
Yeah.
But initially,
it was
weird.
Yeah. So to tap on that, you said what weird thing would I make socially acceptable? Now that you break it down like that, because I had went completely fucking left when we first.
You take a flight in a minute, man.
Yeah.
That's how I know you got a jet, because you'll get on that bitch. I'll be like, where is he flying to? hell is he flying to? But you make it back. It's
Yeah.
damn sure you damn sure make it back. Go
I
ahead.
got a flight called a Boomerang.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't never heard that. Nigga. Never. Heard.
Wait,
One more time.
when
Y'all
did you
listen,
get in there?
listen to that. You gonna hear you like, mm-hmm. All right, shut up. Almost thought he wasn't gonna be there that time. Yeah. So yeah, y'all got to forgive us. We love the laughing people. But damn. I don't know. Nowadays, that's a great question because I don't know. Like a lot of stuff not weird to me. What we were talking about before was technology. But because of us, I've seen the evolution of so many of these type of things, right?
Right.
Nothing seems weird to me anymore.
Okay. So it wasn't weird to you.
So the mask thing is probably something that I think should stay around forever now.
I really don't see how it goes away
Yeah, me neither.
completely.
Me neither. Ever.
All right, so I'll tell you something that was weird to me, right, initially. And, there's a history behind that anyway. But what was weird to me at first was how trusting, when they came up with Uber and Lyft.
Okay.
And they said, well, it's a service. You can actually put the app on your phone, go through that, got a credit card attached to it, and you could place an order for a ride. And I was like, and who come get you?
Right.
And whoever the Uber driver is. Well, who the hell is the Uber driver? All I kept playing was all the negatives that could occur. Right? In my mind, bitch gonna come pick you up. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody gonna never know no record of it. And you just gonna be in the wind. Or vice versa. You wanna be an Uber driver. Somebody come up with some, fictitious shit. They order a ride, you show up in a nice car because they want an Uber XL or something. You come to pick them up. Now they got a big ass truck and you in the back of the truck till they can get rid of you. Mm-hmm. So my mind was just, like a lot of people, a lot of things that's new,
a lot of people like that.
thinking heavily about the negative. Mm-hmm. And then I started seeing some other benefits. Guy I knew, he said, yeah, me and my wife, we like to go out and have a couple drinks, at the bar, and then, we call him a Uber. I was like, damn, I heard about the Uber shit. Like, that's kind of, all right, what's that? You know what I mean? So, how was it? He said, it's great. We go, we have a good time. We don't get too bad, but, we respect the laws and not move funny. Mm-hmm. We call for an Uber or a Lyft, and they pick us up and drop us back off at home.
What that did was eliminate taxi drivers, that's all.
Unfortunately, right?
Right.
But,
they
for
still
me,
around, though.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Big cities and a lot of different places, and even here, they're still around. But when you look at it, it was only weird because I couldn't imagine it. Mm-hmm. Right?
Right.
But for the person who created it, they had a hell of an imagination. And they were very smart.
Rich as hell, too.
Right. So I'm looking and I'm saying to myself, okay, which brought me to the question, reason why I asked you that. Like, damn. What else is it that's out there that's weird to people that I would, if I had the power at this point, to make socially acceptable?
Well, it's not out there, but unless you really study you study finances. First of all, me graduating with that degree in finance, I started kind of somewhat looking into like stocks and things of that nature and bonds and companies and IPOs and all that type of stuff. And I'm actually in it's just a company right now that I invested in when it was like 7 cents, and I'm not even realizing the other day that that 7 cents is now worth like $3. I didn't even realize I should have bought a whole bunch of them. Right, I wasn't thinking, but I'm just constantly watching it grow. Anyway, 20 years from now, I got a tip. What's supposedly supposed to be common is people are going to be able to travel out of space, like us going to Jamaica or Mexico. Mm-hmm. Somebody told me that. So they was like, if you invest in that right now, 20 years from now, Because it's supposed to be costing like $100,000 a ticket 20 years from now for you to be able to go there. So you be like, yeah, where you going? Yeah, I'm going to the moon.
Hell yeah.
And really mean it.
Yeah, I'll have Porch Podcast spacesuits and shit available at that point.
Right,
too.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. But you understand? That's what when we first hear that,
Sounds weird.
it's gonna sound very weird.
Shit sounds
Because I
weird
was
now.
explaining that to some people the other day when I was at work, and the one girl that I got, that actually works on my side, was two girls, but the one particular one I was telling her, she was like, "Yeah, I'm good with that shit. Fuck that. I'm not getting." She about 23 right now. 43. I ain't getting on no goddamn spaceship to go to the moon. Space? I don't give. Yeah, I'm all right on Earth.
Yeah.
I said I ain't never going.
Yeah.
But I might buy a Sharon.
Yeah, definitely.
I might.
You might want to. She probably won't because it's probably going to take a lot of vacation time to travel. Oh,
Yeah.
but
that's.
yeah,
But I
hell,
believe it
definitely
because who
invest.
they saying that maybe a high part of this is Elon Musk, in which when he first created Tesla and said he was making an electric car, everybody was looking at an electric car.
Shit was weird, right?
Yeah. So everybody thought we were going to be in flying cars like the Jetsons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it never was. And I'm not saying it's never going to come, but how interested is that still now? It's not really that interesting.
You're right.
Nobody cares about it.
No, you absolutely. Damn. You're right. No, I think that, first off, I think all of that chimes into being open-minded, right?
Mm-hmm.
That you're not always going to be the smartest person in the room.
Nah.
Just don't be the dumbest.
You definitely going to be that.
Don't be the dumbest. You're not going to always be the smartest person in the room.
And that is, honestly, not to cut your wisdom, but that is the motto I live by a lot of time. I ain't got to be the best. I just can't be the weakest link.
Yeah.
I ain't got to be the best guy.
Yeah.
But a lot of people in sports make a living off that role.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm sure you can sit back and you can think about a lot of basketball players. You look at them and say, he ain't never the best on the floor, but, he always on the team.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, you absolutely
He's
right.
always on the team. They
Nah,
always got a spot for him.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it goes back to understanding that. All right, if I find something that I'm really good at, right,
Right,
and I just master that,
right,
what that does is open my mindset up to the ability that if you work hard at something that you can possibly master it,
right.
right? Like you said, if you use sports, that's one thing. Use business, it's another. Even in your relationships, it's the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm one of them type of people who I'm heavy into, consistently motivating my family. Right? And sometimes when you do that, it requires you to kind of open a person up to the reality that they don't trust themselves enough and they're not applying themselves enough, right?
Right.
Like, I'll sit back and I'll tell my wife all the time, I'm proud of you, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of you because you have an objective, you see it, you understand, because all them videos and all that shit, like you see when I be up there and I'll be like, eliminate this and the power of understanding and the whole concept of dealing with everybody wants to be a diamond until they find out what kind of pressure it takes to make one. You got to know that by the time those things hit an actual camera where I'm recording it, I've said them multiple times in my own household. I am very, very comfortable in my role of being able to introduce what's quote unquote viewed to be weird.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Or because I think that you always need a critical thinker in every relationship, whether it's a business or a personal relationship. I'm very much good at turning around and telling the person, the only reason that you don't think that can happen is because you haven't done it yet.
Absolutely.
But the minute that you accomplish that
It's
thought
doable.
goes away.
Because it's doable now.
It's done. It's doable.
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
done it.
Mind over matter.
So when I look at weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or I look at things that's going to be quote unquote acceptable,
Yes.
the first person that I have to convince about that is myself.
Convincing yourself is honestly it should be the easiest thing, but a lot of times it's the most challenging thing. Because with you having the vision and understanding of what you want to do,
Right.
you can also critique yourself the wrong way.
Yeah.
You could be on the right track and have no clue that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
First off, you can't fool your. Listen, me and you had conversations about the ability to swim.
Right.
You can't swim.
Right. I don't know how to swim.
I learned how to swim.
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. The only difference between the situation was not because I have 3 arms and 3 legs. No, I got 2 arms and 2 legs like you.
Right.
I just made a decision one day. I want to learn how to swim. And I'm willing to go through the process of learning it. If that means at some point or another I'm going to be a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, I just couldn't breathe when I went under the water.
And guess what, E? Mm-hmm. I'm not a fish and I can't breathe underwater either.
Right.
So the objective for me was what? Learn how to stay on top of the water. So that's the point.
And my approach was, I'm just not going down.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. You choose.
Neither one of them is wrong, but you more successful because you learned what you wanted to learn.
Neither one is wrong, but here's the thing though. Mm-hmm. You looked at it and you said, I see the challenge, and what I'm going to do with the challenge is I'm going to make a decision that I'm comfortable. I can't do it. I can't do it. I have more of a fear than a desire to want to swim. Safe to say?
Right.
You have more of a fear than a desire to want to swim.
Absolutely.
When I was younger, I looked at all my friends, they were swimming. We all started off in the shallow end, dancing and playing around and jumping and doing that. And then they all learned how to swim and they went to the deep end. And I got tired of being the one who was down in the shallow end. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, hell no.
Right.
I want to be able to enjoy myself and swim around and play like that. Same thing happened with my youngest daughter.
Right.
Terrified. People do things when they're ready. I tell you that all the time. Not a moment sooner. We put her in different swimming classes. We was taking her. She would get in the water. She wouldn't even put her face in the water. She was just putting her chin. She wouldn't even want to put her face in the water. Went home, start practicing in the bathtub, right? Trying to put her face. Look, Daddy. Put her face in the tub and all in the water and all of that, right? Boom. Kept moving. Wouldn't learn to swim though. Kept taking it. Kept re-signing up. Wouldn't learn to swim. We went on one vacation. Older lady sitting there in the pool. Looked at her and said, "You told me to get in the pool." Messing with my baby girl. Mm-hmm. All she said to her was, "When you swim, think frog, not dog." Because you know how you hear about the doggy paddle.
Mm-hmm. And I never could do it.
Right. She said, when you swim, think frog, not dog. Right. Now you done seen frogs in the water.
Yeah.
Swimming all the time, right? She never stopped. From that day on, she'll jump in the water now, 8, 10 feet, nothing like, and swim like it's nothing.
Yeah.
She did it exactly when she got ready.
I understand what you're saying. You think I can learn tomorrow?
You can learn once you develop the concept that fear ain't gonna control your ability to learn it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But moving on from that, I think that was an awesome way to approach that. Understanding that first you gotta accept the fact that it's only weird because it ain't quote unquote viewed to be dope yet.
Right.
Once you get past that situation and it's no longer weird, it'll automatically be socially accepted.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Okay. I want to ask you some more. All right. What is the one thing you'd be really disappointed if you never got to experience? The one thing that you would really be disappointed about if you never got to experience?
I thought about that before, and a lot of times that relates to what people call a bucket list. I've done a lot of things. So, honestly, a lot of it I'm not really necessarily worried about. I don't know. I don't really have a thing that I think I would be upset about because when I want to do something, I do it.
Right.
You know? Again, I think when I had that mind frame when I was younger, you know, I felt like I was missing things. I don't have that type of feeling anymore. Like I've been past that for a good while now. You know, COVID helped it.
Yeah.
COVID helped it.
Hey,
Yeah. But I don't think I have anything, that I would be disappointed of, before we wrap up the show. Like, I'm far from wanting to die. Let's make that clear. You know how sometimes people say, yeah, I could die today or tomorrow and not be satisfied. I would be, but no, I got a lot of living to do.
right,
I don't care if I'm just sitting on the porch
right,
for another 100 years. I'm just keeping it real.
right.
But not necessarily. It's no things. It's nothing I feel like I would be. Because I just feel like if it doesn't happen, it just wasn't meant for me to do. Because the moment I want to do something, I just do it. That's just who I've always been.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I guess
Yeah.
just answering that myself. The bucket list thing is a good point. Like I said, I don't have one. I'm like you. I think I'm pretty fortunate. I think I'm pretty blessed. I think that, if there is something that has not happened for me yet, that is supposed to, it will.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm comfortable with that.
Right.
So like you, I'm not going to say it can be over for me tomorrow because I ain't rushing that whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
But I can honestly say that I don't have anything that is coming to mind that I am not at least attempting to fulfill.
Right.
And that's my response to that.
Right. This is the Porch Podcast, people. We thank y'all for tuning in. We love y'all.
Absolutely.
Lucky number 13. That's the episode 13.
Lucky number 13.
Yeah.
As always, guys, like I say, make sure, if you haven't done it already,
Right.
please subscribe,
Mm-hmm.
like, hit that notification bell. What just happened?
Hold on. Let me see something. Hold on.
If you haven't done it already,
That's right.
please subscribe,
Mm-hmm.
like, and hit that notification bell. Continue to please download from your favorite streaming places where you get your podcasts.
Yes.
As I've been saying all along, it's Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Overcast Radio Public, iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio.
As he murmured.
Thank
As
y'all.
always, thanks for tuning in. We see y'all.
Peace.